I'm going to be building a basically like a Cobra hood, and what that is designed really to do is camouflage the top half of the body, so the head, shoulders, and arms area. So it's very similar as like a ghillie suit, except it's instead of full body or the full back, it's more just the top area. So on this one, we've got, see, I've got the hood portion here, and then this is almost kind of like a vest. So here's towards the back, and then the arms going here. So we can see we've got these big webs in here, which is really nice because it makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker to actually feed natural vegetation in. The jute and everything really needs to be very minimal. Your 70, 80, 90% of the camouflage from this is from natural vegetation. So you really just want this, the jute very minimal. So I do have a mixture. So I've got some long ones here, and then all the rest of this stuff is actually pretty short. So what I did is I just took these long ones, and they come in pretty long pieces, and I just cut those right in half. And then I do a bunch of small things. So let me show you, like here's a couple long ones. So the ones going from the bottom towards the bottom half of the head into the neck on the back, I did long there. And then on the back of the arms, I went long there as well. So down here, these are pretty long. Everything else looks just like this. It's fairly short and pretty thin. And really all that's to do is to generally give it a little bit of cover. So you can see how thin that is. Out of here. So let's take a look at the surroundings back here. Basically, we can look behind me. So this green is pretty bright, especially when the sun hits it. Let me see if I can get the sun on there. See when that sun hits it. But then when we compare it to back there, and then I can't get the sun to hit it at the same time. It's very similar to the green, this little area right here where the sun's hitting it. So I went ahead and got that green in there. And then again, if we're too light, we can always darken it up by adding brown and stuff. So I got some of this, which you can see down here. It is much darker, but as the sun comes through and it shines down on the ground, we get these, we got bright colors like this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and gather just some vegetation around in the area, as much as I can, different types, and then we'll be putting it in here, just taking some pictures, and take a look how that looks. Okay, so I haven't tied any 550 cord in here yet. Usually it's a good idea if you can just take some short pieces, maybe 8 inches long, and then actually loop those in here. And then what you can do is take like handfuls of grass or brush or bushes, anything like that, just lay it right on there and start tying that stuff in. And then with stuff like this is really good because we can literally just go right through the center of these, and we can just pull this stuff right in here, especially with like the branches, kind of pull it back up a little bit, and then that stuff works really well. Now, you don't want something super tall like this sticking right at the front, because you're going to look around, you're going to move your head, and then this jiggles, and that's going to definitely give away your position. So this kind of doesn't take a whole lot. So you can see, so yes, this green in most cases in the area is too bright. The only thing to compare it to is the green up here when the sun hits it. But when we put the natural green in front, you can see this stuff starts to become more background. Like right here, this whole area blends in really well, because you got to remember when you're looking through the brush, there is green everywhere, but the number one thing you're seeing, like look at all this brown behind me. So when we look at this green is what's sticking out in the front, and then all this little stuff in the back, all those greens and all those browns are really in the background of this, making it very 3D and a really nice effect to conceal yourself. Now in most situations, I wouldn't use something necessarily like this unless it's on the back and it's hanging down, because this covers up or blends in a fairly big area, but then it's also thin, meaning I can use just a couple of these. It covers a large area, and then these colors in the background blend in really well. So this is perfect. I wouldn't use this on the head, again, because you start moving around and it gives away your position. But here we go. So here's essentially the finished product. There's the arms. So I'll go ahead and put this on, see how it looks. So what I'll do is I'll try to get some pictures of this. It's not great. Keep in mind, I know the color over here isn't 100% where it needs to be. It's just to give you a general idea of how to make something similar to this. If you're doing any kind of hunting where you're actually out going after something, I think this works a lot better. It's a whole lot easier to deal with one of these than like a full ghillie suit, especially if you're going through woods, because this stuff sucks. That's part of the reason why I didn't go with a lot of long ones, because any branch, vines, anything, this stuff just gets tangled up so bad. They're actually, they typically will cause you more problems than benefit in a lot of situations. So something like this is actually really good, especially if you use short ones and not long ones. For the most part, which is why I got the real short ones almost over this entire thing. So it's not getting caught on anything when I'm going pig hunting or anything. So anyway, that is it for this video. Hopefully somebody learned something. I'm gonna go ahead and tie in some 550 cord, and then I gotta go run this thing through the dirt and get it nasty and dirty and get the factory smell off of this thing. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a good one.